Weekend in Dublin. Here we go. So I'm at the Trinity College, so this is where I'm going to stay for this weekend. Now let me figure out how to get my accommodation. Okay, got the key, gonna stay in a dorm because why not? And I even got my temporary ID, the resident of the campus. I got lost, but friendly security people explained me. Oh, this was so funny in a way, how their English sounds. Yeah, but I need to go a pathway, and then next to the timber fence, I should turn to the right, and then I'll see the houses. Very sweet. Very sweet of them. Now I hope I remember directions correct. Holy shit. I feel so helpless. Oh, there it is. Made it to my room. It's pretty simple. And yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, I haven't been to British Isles for like 10 years. And my exposure to Ireland has only been Irish pubs. They're trying to be built everywhere. Most of them are even called Temple Bar, you know. And here's the OG temple that I can actually visit. So being in Dublin feels like being in a huge Irish Disneyland, you know, where the whole theme is Irish pubs. Because they're in every corner. So many of them. Okay, I was on my way to the Brazen Head Pub, which is the oldest pub in Ireland. At least according to what they say. So let's see. So funny. I'm like in Hogwarts of sorts. So Trinity College, as the oldest university in Ireland, was started by Queen Elizabeth I back in 16th century, and it has quite a spectacular status. It's one of the top universities in the whole world, among the 100 best, and people graduating from here has an equal qualification, so that they can also, if they want to, get a diploma from Oxford or Cambridge. So in the British Isles, these three universities are considered to be on the same level. I wasn't lucky, so all the tickets before, when I was checking out to the library, to the Book of Kells, that's right behind me, were sold out until 5:30 or something. But once I checked now, was a ticket available. So now I'm going. And I need to wait for a bit more, so I'm gonna grab a bite at this coffee place. Let's check it out. The library is indeed a beautiful place. It is considered to be one of those few grand libraries that are left in the world. They are now working on restoring it. That's why the shelves are mostly empty. So hopefully the library will come to its pristine, authentic look. Other than that, there has been a lot of history, some historical artifacts like autumn stones, where some of the first carvings, some of the oldest words from Celtic language could be found. Some books that are of course related to religion, and the most important book, because of which the whole excursion is now carrying the name, called Book of Kells. It is preserved in a very dark room with all these different technologies to make sure the humidity levels are the same during display time as they are when they sort of keep it. It is the only section where they prohibit to film or take pictures. I did still sneak one picture before being noticed and screamed at. And what also interesting, so on a display, of course, we can see pretty much 2 pages, and every 8 weeks they switch the page. There is also, of course, for people who are not as sneaky as I am, there is a facsimile of the book further upstairs in the lawn room of the old library. So if you cover to sign it as a facsimile, you can pretend it's the real. Now I'm at the St. Stephen's Green. That's a park that quite in the city center of Dublin. As you can see, it is following the great traditions of so-called English parks, English gardens, because you know there are 2 opinions on how people should be curating the parks. One is that we need to let nature loose in a way, and trying to make the landscapes as close to natural as possible, while the English school is more focused on controlling and curating it much more. So it's more about what we as humans could do with the nature, how we can tame it, and that's pretty much what this park at least shows us. walking through Dublin suburbs in an attempt to reach the famous prison that is one of the top attractions in Dublin. However, the more I'm getting closer there, the less I'm certain I'm gonna go in. Yeah, because it doesn't look as exciting. The amount of brick houses is incredibly high. It really shows that I'm in British Isles. So this building behind me, the Kilmainham prison, and that's where most of the revolutionaries who were fighting for independence of Ireland were tortured and imprisoned back in the days. There has been a famous trial for Invincibles, which were the political group that supposedly assassinated the governor of Ireland at the time, and their trial was here, and this is where they sort of met their demise. The interior of the prison is not extremely exciting, thus I don't necessarily feel the need to get in. However, I do recognize the grandiose side of this structure, so it's an important historical building, and I guess there is more things to say about the struggle that Irish people had during the governing of England. It's very important for Irish history.
Consistent sunshine here in Ireland to grow it ourselves, so we get that from our friends in France. Yeah. There's 2 seats there if you want, guys.
It's Saturday afternoon, and that means I will join on the famous evening weekend tradition, because whiskey wasn't enough. It's time for Guinness. Maybe at the bar. Head. So here I am, close to Guinness factory, a worldwide famous beer that now became a full association with Ireland. One of the first things people now think about Ireland is Guinness. So I'm honestly not the hugest fan of this beer and generally dark beers. But yeah, just like with Jameson, they were able to build a worldwide brand recognized everywhere. And that's worth the kudos. This museum exceeds all my expectations. That's where it really bankrolled everything, unlike Jameson. Jameson presentation is much more modest. Jesus Christ. Like going to the Museum of Modern Art and everything is about beer. Like installations are amazing, but it's just about beer. Crazy. This is just so ridiculous.
After that, the subtle sweetness from malted barley at the tip of your tongue, and finishing off with those dry fish and hops at the back.
I don't know. I still have a weird smile on my face. Just walking around this. It's ridiculous. It's an amazing museum. And even as a non-beer lover, you could appreciate it. The ticket is ridiculously expensive though, I feel like. At least that's what I thought first. But then, it kind of costs almost the same as the one for Jameson. Just €2 more. And here's more to see. And a wonderful view from the Gravity Bar. Dublin has its way with these colored doors, colored castles. Interesting, almost Portuguese-like. Right now I am at the Church of St. Patrick. I think most of you are familiar with the St. Patrick's Day. It's a main saint for Irish people. Supposedly we can call it the main church and we can see it by the amount of tourists that want to get in. But I don't have the luxury of time. So we'll get acquainted with the exterior. So today is I think a semi-final of the Gaelic Football League Championship. Today there are two teams playing. I even decided to get some merch. I'm not actually going to the game, but this sport is so unique and special for Ireland in particular. I could not just not mention anything about it. And it's being played on this stadium over there. Which is one of the bigger symbols in here. Well, I have my merch. Apparently I'm supporting Kilkenny now. So that's it. So this street lamp called Five Lamps, because there are 5 lamps, and historically it has been a water fountain, and it's apparently a big symbol for Dublin because initially the legend says that it was built by some wealthy lieutenant general who came back from war and then decided to promote sobriety by building this water fountain. I was almost sure that the supporters of the teams don't necessarily have a rivalry or anything, and now there were 3 girls in a rickshaw shouting F you to the supporters of the other team.